So what's been up for me is this feeling from childhood that I've been carrying ever since in the womb, of feeling not welcome, not celebrated, not loved, and it's projected on every relationship I've ever had, from a trigger that happened at age 8 when my stepfather was having an affair with someone after just marrying my mom. And so I've been feeling all of this energy come up and being able to find the root of it. And so within finding the root, wanting to be able to clear it so that it doesn't keep happening and keep repeating itself. So yesterday, all of this was up and I'm really feeling the need to communicate it with Andrew. And so I come in the morning, give us space. I don't bring it up immediately, even though it's been with me for like 12 hours by this point. But we're having breakfast and we're sitting there, and I was like, Andrew, there's something that's really inspiring me. Because at that point, I was just feeling inspired and I wanted to talk. And he said, and his whole system shut down. And you can come back in the frame. And his system shut down and he was like, no, because I think he was afraid because he could feel there was a process that needed to happen. But
it wasn't entirely, I wasn't checked with or asked, and she had a push. There was this she's like, okay, like I'm really ready to be seen. And she said this had been up for 12 hours, but she forgot that I would listen to her for over an hour in bed while she was starting to unwind some of it before bed. So I was like super present in bed, and then I woke up and then could feel this push like, oh wow, something's up. And it's like whatever she was inspired about, there was a hook that I had to pay attention in order to fulfill the need that she feels safe and loved without checking whether I was ready.
So anyway, Andrew's, even his energy right now, he's not owning. He's saying she, if you notice that. So if he were to really own it, the feeling is irritation and frustration and this deep wounding of not respecting of time.
Yeah, and I'd call it, I was anxious. I could feel like an anxious, I was like, okay, I got to be careful. Something's happening. I'm not sure what it is. So there's a little confusion.
Yeah. So anyway, I said, fine, if you can't, I really need some space. I need you to leave the room so that I can just be with it. So he did. He left, and he really honored that. And so I cried for like 4 hours.
It was not 4 hours.
It felt like 4 hours.
Yeah, it felt like 4 hours she cried.
But it was a long time. It was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I went out, and and Andrew had eaten, and I made us lunch. I made us a Thai curry soup, and like everyone's eaten, everyone's good. And I said, and we're building a fire, and I said, I really need to talk to you, like soon. And again, he's like,
well, actually, no, I don't think I was like that. I was like, well, now I'm all fed and I'm properly ready to like do my work. I did all this yoga I could start writing this inspiration that I had, like this reaching out. Felt creative, felt like actual work. And I was like all ready for it. And that's been a challenge for me to get all my focused. And so here I was about to start, and she's like,
I need you.
And by then it reached a breaking point, and
we're like, I really did need help. My phone wasn't getting service, so I had actually tried to reach out and call people, but the phone wasn't working. So it was this point of desperation where I was really needing some external support.
Yeah.
And Andrew listened to me when I explained that I was feeling really sad and really like in a dark hole, and I needed help immediately.
And so then I showed up. I was like, okay, she's communicating. She's in the shadow, and it's hard to get out. So I showed up, and we went through the process, and it was really fun. I got to be creative and encourage her to dance around and reclaim her power with the drum beat. And so it got fun and funky. And
it was deeply healing for both of us, because Andrew got to use his creative inspiration, and I respected it and did it, and it was healing for me.
And then there was, the shadow came up one more time, and so then we played with it some more, and then we encouraged, this is my favorite part, Destiny to really sit with herself, with me, clear across the other side of this big room, so she could feel that support and have her own energy field to draw on that, oh, like she is safe to be here, she is supported, and she is self-supporting and can draw on her resources as well and her connection to spirit, in addition to having me and my tangibility. But hey, let's look at it from me across the room. And she really got a sense of.
I got a sense of trust for myself, which ultimately I think was the bottom, like the deepest root of this, is trusting myself, trusting my own existence, and having that support in that. So Andrew saying, you sit and I'm going to hold the space and make the container wider and just feel yourself.
Yeah.
And so I feel like for us, that's really working for establishing deeper trust, is really establishing deeper trust inside first, with the support of the other to do that.
Yeah. And so the other has the capacity to then be like, hey, I'm also showing up for you. So as you are willing to be self-supportive, know that I'm here to also nurture what our needs and balance. And it was beautiful, and we've slept well, and we're feeling so awesome today.
We're feeling great today.
So thank you. That was delightful.
Yeah, and you notice, like, when we interact, it's kind of intense. It's another reason we like to show these videos, because our interactions, there's an intense energy.
Yeah, this is
that.
a really good point. So we aren't going for all cozy all the time. We're going for what's real, what's present, what's true, and what's ultimately helpful. And our intensity brings up what needs to be resolved. And so we welcome that as the challenge to now get present. And we should wind down, so this is under 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions or feedback, then we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. Blessings on your travels in relationship.